welcome to your yoga practice. I'm Jen. This is Sloan. This class is designed to promote relaxation through conscious breathing techniques and mindful movement that aims to create balance. So physically, we're going to be focusing a lot on the hips today. So sometimes when I think of the hips, I think of balance or even imbalance. A lot of times we have one side that we favor versus the other side, or one hip feels more mobile, more open, more fluid movement there, and then the other side can feel kind of sticky or stuck. So we're going to work on some different poses to help create a little bit more of a balance in the hips. We're going to start off with a pranayama breathing technique called Nadi Shodhana breathing, or alternate nostril breathing. So as the name implies, we breathe in through one nostril and we breathe out through the other nostril. And then we just continue to alternate. So it's pretty simple and easy. Just to give you a little bit of background on this breathing technique, the Sanskrit word nadi, it means flow or channel. And the Sanskrit word shodhana means purification or cleansing. So traditionally, in the yoga tradition and in Ayurveda, the intention with this breathing exercise is to create balance through the energy channels of the body, create balance between the right hemisphere of the brain and the left hemisphere of the brain, balance the masculine and feminine qualities, balance solar and lunar qualities. In modern day, this breathing technique has been studied a lot and proven to be really good for your heart and your lungs and your brain. So it's good for your heart because this helps to tap into the parasympathetic nervous system, your relaxation response, which may lower your heart rate and lower blood pressure. It's good for your lungs because it may increase respiratory strength and endurance. And it's good for your brain because it can help improve motor coordination and just focus and concentration in general. So when we do this breathing exercise, we're going to do a little hand position called a mudra. So this is how it goes. You're going to take your right hand and take your index finger and your middle finger and fold them down to the base of your thumb, to like the mound of your thumb. So you're gonna have your thumb sticking out, your pinky and your ring finger sticking out. You got it. So you'll use this hand the whole time. Your thumb will plug your right nostril. And then when we switch to the other side, you're gonna have your ring finger plug the left nostril. Pretty simple and easy. Okay, so let's get started. You can keep your hand in that position if you want, and just rest your hands in your lap or on your thighs. Sit up tall. We're sitting on yoga blocks. If you want to sit up on a block, a cushion, a pillow, you're welcome to do that. We'll be here for a few minutes, so get comfortable. Let your eyes close and just settle in to your practice by transitioning away from whatever was going on in your day so far, whatever was going on before you rolled out your yoga mat. When you inhale, you want to expand. Let the belly rise, let the rib cage open and expand. As you exhale, dial your belly button in to center, in towards the spine. And then exhale all the breath out. Place your right thumb over your right nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Close the left nostril, exhale out through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right, exhale out through the left. That was one round. Let's do it a few more times. Inhale through the left side. Close the left, exhale out through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right, exhale out through the left. Inhale through the left. Close the left, exhale out through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right, exhale out through the left. Inhale through the left. Now visualize a stream of air entering up through the inner walls of the left nostril and going all the way up to the apex of your nose, the very top between your eyebrows. Close the left side, exhale out through the right. Visualize that stream of air going from that space right between your eyebrows all the way out through the right nostril. Inhale through the right. And exhaling out through the left. So just adding that little bit of visualization just to be a little bit more alert and maybe a little calmer. Inhale through the left side. Visualize that stream of air going up past the top of the nose all the way to the right hemisphere of the brain, illuminating, lighting up the right side of the brain. Close the left, exhale out through the right. Inhale through the right side, visualizing a stream of air going up on a diagonal to the left side of the brain, illuminating left hemisphere of the brain. Close the right, exhale out through the left. Let's keep going 2 more rounds. Inhale through the left side. Close the left, exhale out through the right. Be aware of the details of the breath, the intricacies of the breath. Inhale through the right side. Close the right side, exhale out through the left. So maybe even feeling the breath on your fingertips, feeling the sensation, the vibration of the breath. 1 more round. Inhale through the left side. Close the left, exhale out through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right, exhale out through the left. Relax your hands back down into your lap or onto your knees or your thighs. Breathe in through both nostrils. And breathe out. Open up your eyes when you're ready. All right, so we're gonna just remove the block that we're sitting on, put that off to the side. And you're going to sit facing sideways, just like we're doing, so facing the wide edge of the mat. And you're going to sit with your feet wide. So you wanna have your feet just a little wider than your hips. Your butt is at the edge of the mat, and your spine can lean back to about a 45-degree angle. Your hands are just kind of propping you up a little bit here, like little kickstands, and you can have your fingers point out to the sides if you'd like. Flex your feet, let your toes turn out, and you want to reach your inner thighs away from each other. So let's take an inhale here. Exhale, we're going to drop both of our knees to the right. Good. And just see how your left knee is near the heel of your right foot. Your left leg is inwardly rotated, it's internally rotated. And then the right hip, right leg is externally rotated. Inhale, come back through center. Inner thighs reach away from each other. Exhale, knees to the left. So now your right leg has that internal rotation and the left leg has the external rotation. We'll do this a few more times. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. So it's like windshield wipers. Keep going. Good. Let's do 3 more on each side and be aware of your core. Be aware of your navel. Draw it in. 2 more on each side. Good. Really letting your knees drop down as much as it's reasonable for you on both sides. Yeah. All right, so now we're gonna transition into a tabletop. So you're gonna come onto your hands and your knees. We're gonna do something called hip cars. So we're gonna move through the full spectrum of the hip, 1 hip at a time. So you're gonna find a nice tabletop position here with your shoulders above your wrists, your hips above your knees, a neutral spine. So we're not doing cow pose, we're not doing cat pose. We don't want to accentuate the curve of the spine in either direction. Just stay neutral. Now we're going to start with bringing the left heel up towards your left sit bone. And I don't care if you point or flex your foot. Either way is totally fine with me. Now, if you move your lower back too much, then you're moving too much. So just keep that in mind. We're trying to stay really still through the rest of the body and only move the left hip and the left leg. So from here, you're squeezing your heel up towards your butt. You're gonna start to bring your left knee towards your chest without rounding your low back. Good. Now open that left leg out to the side. Good. Now we're going to internally rotate that hip. So think outer ankle going up, and we'll bring that leg behind us without arching the lower back or dropping the belly. Try to squeeze your inner thighs a little closer together and lift that knee up a little bit higher. Good. Now bring your knee back down to the start position. Good. Your heel can come up to your butt. We're going to start in the reverse direction this time. So you're going to go up and back into hip extension. Find an internal rotation, and then let that leg go out to the side without moving your hips too much. Good. And then you're going to bring knee to chest without rounding your low back and bring that knee down. Let's do it again. Heel to butt. Bring your knee towards your chest and then open out to the side and find an internal rotation, outer ankle up, and extend that hip back. Stay strong through both arms, belly button in. Good. Bring that knee down. Reverse heel to butt. Extend the hip. Go up and back behind you. Internally rotating. And then externally rotating out to the side. Knee to chest. And back down. Nice. All right, we'll do the other side. So heel of your right foot up towards your butt. Bring your right knee towards your chest. And then open out to the side. So you're abducting and externally rotating. Now find an internal rotation. Bring that leg up and back behind you. Good, keep pushing with your hands. And then you're gonna bring that knee down. Good, reverse the direction. Extend the hip, so that means that knee goes back behind you. Find a little internal rotation. Good. Externally rotate and bring the leg out to the side. You're trying not to shift around too much with the rest of the body. Good. Knee to chest and knee back down. It's basically a circle that you're making. We're just making it more complicated. So now we're going to go again. You're going to go knee to chest and out to the side. Internally rotate, lift the outer ankle and bring that leg back. And I try to squeeze the inner thighs a little closer together here, and then be aware with what's going on with your belly button. Don't let it drop. Keep the front ribs and the core cylinder contained. All right, bring that knee down. Reverse the direction one more time. So knee goes up and back. We'll find a little internal rotation first and then external rotation out to the side, abduction. So moving away from the center of the body. Then knee to chest, hip flexion, and then bring that knee down. Nice. Come into a downward facing dog. Lift your hips, You're pushing the mat away from you. So you're never just leaning on your hands. You want to use your hands. And take a moment in your down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, inhale, raise your right leg up and back. Down dog split. Exhale, turn your top hip open, bend your knee. Inhale, re-straighten the right leg. Exhale, right knee goes across to the left elbow. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, bring your right knee to your nose, but don't step forward. Inhale, right leg goes up and back. Exhale, right knee to the right armpit. So try to go higher than your elbow. Now step wide. Step to the outside of your right hand. Nice. Let's lower the back knee down. And you are in lizard here. So I'm going to let Sloan have both blocks underneath his hands. And we're going to pad up his back knee with a blanket. So you could just see, lift your knee a little bit. So you could just see that if you have props at home, this is how you can use them. All right, so both of your blocks are going to go to the inside edge, yeah? So we're going to move within this stretch, kind of like a half split, except you still have your leg wide. Your toes are pointed out to about 1 or 2 o'clock. And we're going to take an inhale to straighten out the right leg, sitting your butt back over your left leg. And then exhale, rebend into lizard pose. Inhale, straighten into that half split. Exhale, rebend into lizard pose. Inhale, straighten one more time. And exhale, rebend. Beautiful. So you can walk your hands a little forward. You may or may not want to use the blocks. It's up to you. You could always push them off to the side. But you're pulling your spine forward, letting your chest stay open. And then if you'd like to lower down in your lizard pose, you could bring your forearms all the way down to the floor. You could put your forearms on blocks if you want to. You could put your forehead on a block. Just let your head relax. We'll take 5 deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so if you are down on your forearms like we are, you're just going to start to lift back up onto the palms of your hands, but don't come out of lizard pose completely. We're still going to work the hips a little bit more here. So you're going to scoot your right foot back onto your mat if it went off of your mat. So, yep, just to the outside of your right hand. And we're going to work the inner hip, the inner thigh. So you're going to squeeze your right inner knee against your right outer arm. So you start to squeeze your inner knee against your outer arm, and hopefully you feel the inner thigh group of muscles click on right away, your adductors. So you might start with maybe not a lot of effort here. Maybe you're at like 10, 15, 20% effort. Just start to gradually ramp up that effort. Just a couple more breaths here. Actively push down through the hands. Nice. And then we're going to do the opposite. We're going to work the outer thigh, outer hip, the abductors. So you're going to let your foot go a little bit wider again. So maybe the ball of your foot and your toes are off the mat. Lift all your toes so you're dorsiflexing your foot. And then you're going to roll to the outer edge of that foot. Yeah. And then I want you to imagine that your outer knee is up against a wall and you're pressing into that wall. So you're really pressing your outer knee out. Nice. Breathe in. Breathe out. If you want to deepen this just a little bit, walk your hands just a little bit to the left. So you're moving away from that right inner thigh. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, one more thing here. So align yourself so you're facing forward again. You're still keeping that right knee wide. We're gonna take a little twist to the right. So left hand down, turn your chest to the right side, reach back through the right arm. And then you might be able to lift up your back foot and just gently deliver it up into your hand. Nice. Yeah, good. Keep rolling the heart open, finding that twist. Can you roll to the outer edge of the right foot still? Yeah. One more inhale and exhale. Good. Let's gently release the back foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. And exhale, lower all the way down. Good, this time we're gonna come into locust with the legs first. So arms reach back, but start by lifting the legs off the floor. Then peek forward, lift your heart, lift your arms. Good, remember head and your neck are in line with the rest of your spine. So you can look slightly forward on a long diagonal. Imagine you're holding an orange or an apple between your chin and your chest. Good, let that go, downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, raise your left leg up high. Exhale, turn your top hip open, bend your knee. Inhale, re-straighten your left leg. Exhale, bring the left knee across to the right elbow. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left knee to your nose, but don't step forward. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left knee to left armpit. So nice and high, nice and wide. Step your foot to the outside of your left hand. Gently lower your back knee. And of course, you can pad up your back knee if you have sensitive knees. All right, so we're in lizard. Sloane's gonna grab the blocks for this. So the tighter your hamstrings are, the higher you wanna have your blocks. If you're pretty open in your hamstrings, you could just be on your fingertips like me. Chest open, gaze forward. Pull your spine through, good. On your inhale, straighten out the front knee, sit back. You're gonna lift these toes, just flex your foot, yeah. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Beautiful, and then settle into your lizard. Maybe you slide the blocks out of the way. Maybe you come down onto your forearms. Maybe there's a block underneath your head. 5 breaths here. And like I said earlier, it's super common that we favor one side over the other. So this side, it might feel like a completely different story, a whole new plot line, a whole new season and cast of characters on this side. And that's okay. If you need to modify and do something a little differently on this side than you did on the other side, feel free to do that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, so we're not done working into this hip. Now we gotta strengthen it a little bit. So you're gonna come up onto your palms if you're not already there. And just wiggle your foot in onto your mat. You're snuggling up against this left arm. So inner left knee snuggles up and presses against the outer left arm. And you might not start with very much effort, but you're gonna start to gradually amp up that effort. Good. Keep sticking your inner knee against your outer arm like I couldn't pull this knee off of your arm. Good. I couldn't separate these two. Nice. Now let's do the opposite of that. You're gonna let your foot come a little wider again, toes can turn a little bit out, and roll to the outer edge of that foot. Good. Imagine that this outer knee is pressed up against a wall and you're pressing against the wall. So you're continuing to reach the inner thigh away from your center. Reach the outer knee away from you. Breathe in. Breathe out. So you can either stay here or walk your hands a little to the right, turn your torso a little bit to the right. Good, keep pressing this knee into my hand. And like I said, this side might feel different. That's okay. It doesn't mean that you have to do the exact same thing on this side that you did on the other side. I always think of like if there's a table that you're sitting at and it's a little wobbly, you have to correct that by putting something under the one leg. So you might have to prop up one side but not the other side in order to create balance, right? Come back through center. And you're still rolled out onto the outer edge of this foot. We're just gonna add a little twist. So twist to the left. Maybe you bring your left arm back. Maybe you effortlessly, or with a little bit of effort, deliver your right foot up into your hand. Good. Notice how I'm still twisting and I'm still opening up my heart even as I reach for that back foot. Breathe in. Breathe out. Looks good. All right, let's let that go. Step back, downward facing dog. We're gonna do a pose called Ardha Virasana, or half hero's pose. And I'm gonna teach you it with a block. So you're gonna take that block, sit with your butt on the block, right between the heels of your feet. And I'm gonna give Sloan a little blanket underneath his knees, just so you guys can see how to use props if you have them. All right, so I like to scoot. This is like a very subtle little detail, but I like to scoot to the front edge of the block. Instead of sitting all the way back, I sit towards the front edge. All right, so Virasana, hero's pose. Ardha, in Sanskrit, it means half. So this is Ardha Virasana, half hero's pose. So the way that we do the half part of this is we step the right foot forward. You're gonna step your right foot forward. It could just step onto like the blanket, onto the fringe of the blanket, whatever works here. And you're gonna press down through the top of your left foot, press down through the left shin, press down through the left knee. Try your best to keep your left knee pointing pretty much straight forward. If not straight forward, maybe out a little bit to like 11 o'clock. Okay, so you might not feel anything here yet. So you could walk your hands back, lean your spine back to a 45-degree angle, and maybe you feel a little bit more. Now, it can be painful for some people to do this pose. So if you are one of those people, if you don't have the mobility, or if you're working with a knee injury or a hip injury or an ankle injury, please don't push through pain. Just skip this part of the class if you are in any pain. Okay, so you might be starting to feel a stretch through the front of the left thigh. I don't feel anything yet, so what I do is I lift my butt just slightly off the block, add a little tuck of the tailbone, so think of lengthening your tail to the back of your left knee, and I sit back down on the block. Good. And Sloan, you can stay here if you want to. I'm gonna lean back a little bit and come onto my forearms. If your knee lifts up a tiny bit like this, totally fine, but you do want to try to keep it down if you can. And then some people might have the mobility to go all the way back onto the shoulders and onto the back of the head. Good, and I want you to think of your core, again, as a cylinder. Keep that core cylinder engaged, keep it contained. Try to keep your front ribs down. Are you feeling okay here? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna start to lift back up, and we'll just switch to the other side. So you're gonna tuck your right shin under and step your left foot forward. Nice. And again, you could scoot up to the front edge of that block. You could always sit up on something higher. You could stack 2 blocks. You could sit on a bolster like that, or a pillow. All right, so you're gonna lean back, 45-degree angle. This side might feel different though, so do something different if you need to. I add a little tuck of the tailbone, like I'm tucking my tail to the back of the right knee. Good. And just try to maybe relax your shoulders a little bit instead of shrugging them. Yeah, so just lifting the chest a little higher. Nice. You can stay there if you want to. You can come down onto your forearms if you want to. And of course, you have the right to change your mind. You can try something and then be like, nope, never mind. Nope, never mind. And I'm gonna go all the way back, just another couple of breaths here. Again, just gonna repeat it one more time. Don't do this pose if it's painful for you. This pose does not work for everybody. But when it does work, it works. It's a good hip flexor stretch and quad stretch. All right, so lifting back up, we're all good on this side now. Come to lie down on your back and give your knees a hug. Gentle rock, side to side. Good. I'm gonna give you a little pillow underneath your head. Here you go. Okay. Oh, a little bit back. There you go. Okay, so I'm sure you guys are all used to the figure 4 stretch, or you may or may not be used to it. We're gonna do it a couple different ways today. So we're gonna start by not using the hands at all and just crossing the right ankle over the left knee and pulling your legs in towards your chest without using your hands. So this is just a little bit more of an active version of the pose. And now we're gonna make it even more active, again, not using the hands. Try to keep your right leg as it is, so it's externally rotated and it's a little bit abducted. We're gonna take the left leg and stretch it out. So it's almost like you're in a pigeon pose, but you're on your back. Yeah, so you wanna still keep that right knee pointing wide and pointing back, and you're trying to like bring your right foot towards your left shoulder. So imagine that. It feels impossible, of course. Okay, so now let's go to like our regular, normal, passive version of this pose. Go right ankle over your left knee and reach for the back of your left thigh. And gently pull your left thigh towards you. Okay, so now we're gonna add a little bit of end range engagement, or it's called an eccentric contraction, an eccentric stretch. You're gonna take your right hand, slide it out from behind your leg, and place it to the outer right knee. And you're just placing it there, you're not holding on too hard. Now try to press your outer right knee into your hand. Yeah, so imagine that your hand is like a wall. You're trying to press your knee into that wall. Creating a little bit more space around the front of the right hip. Take another inhale. Exhale. Okay, let's switch sides. So no hands as you switch. Left ankle over the right knee, no hands as you bring your legs towards you. I keep saying this, but this side might feel different. This side is definitely my weaker side of the two. Keep your left leg as close to being in this position as it is right now as you straighten out your right leg. Yeah, so think of bringing your left heel towards your right shoulder, left knee wide, just like pigeon pose. Good. Not easy, is it? Let's come back to the passive stretch. Ankle over knee, hold on to the back of your right thigh. And then slide your left hand out. You're gonna slide it around your outer left knee and press your knee into your hand. Yeah, just like that. Good. End range engagement. All right, let that go. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll over to the side. And come on up to sit. When you're ready, bring the palms of your hands together in prayer. And just take a moment to thank yourself. Thank yourself for showing up for yourself, for committing to your well-being. These conscious breathing techniques and this mindful movement is honestly like you are giving yourself and your nervous system a little gift. So thank yourself for just making the time to do that. Namaste. Thank you so much. Thank you.